Hello students, welcome to this session. I've just solved this JEE Main test 106 and here's the analysis of the physics part. I've regarded 7 as easy, 6 as tough, 10 as medium, and this question has many calculative questions and some questions whose concept is not that easy. So it's not going to be an easy paper because of these 6 tough questions. It's tough to choose the easy and medium amidst that. So this won't be high scoring I suppose. By going my logic 7 and 5, 12. So anyone getting 48 marks is doing very good here. And those who should very good should still look for 75, but scoring 75 plus is not that easy for everyone in this. Now let's begin. A thin bar of length L has a mass per unit in lambda that increases linearly with distance from one end. If its total mass is m and mass per unit length at the lighter end is lambda naught, find the distance of the center of mass from the lighter end. Okay, so it increases linearly. So it increases linearly, let's say something like lambda naught plus let's say cx. That is what you can have it. Now, how to find the cm from the lighter end? First of all, go at a distance x, take a small length dx and let the mass be dm. So first of all, the mass of this small section would be equal to lambda dx, which is lambda naught plus cx into dx. So first let me calculate the mass in this terms. That would be lambda naught plus cx dx from 0 to L, that comes out as lambda naught L plus C L square by 2. Now for finding xcm, you know the formula says integration x dm upon integration dm, which you know lambda naught L plus C L square by 2, and this comes out as now as, if I multiply it by x, it will become lambda naught L square by 2 plus C L cube by 3. So what you are left with now, so if you do this, this is now going to be some interesting thing. You need to eliminate this C thing. So if I eliminate this C thing, so the C thing if I eliminate, let me check, it would be lambda naught L square by 2 plus L cube by 3 into C. C would be, I can write m minus lambda naught L into 2 by L square. Similarly here plus C, or I can write here CL square by 2, I can directly write as m minus lambda naught L, sorry. So that is m minus lambda naught L, that you can directly do this was m, no need for that. So now what we are left with, do this carefully, what we will get, lambda naught L square by 2 plus here what we will get 2m by 3, and this would be L minus, be careful, lambda naught 2 lambda naught L square by 3, if I am right, yes, upon m. So what you will get 2L by 3, and this would be 2 by 3 minus 1 by 2, that is 1 by 6. So this is lambda naught L square by 6m. So this is option D you can get for. So you need to simplify it, and not that simple, or it will take time definitely. In a circular motion of particle, tangential acceleration is this, the radius of the circle is 4. Particle was initially at rest time, after which total acceleration makes an angle 45. Total makes an angle 45, that means AT is equal to AC. That means 9 is equal to V square by R. V is 90 whole square by R. So now you have got easy one. R is what, 4. So 36 is 90 whole square. So 90 is 6. So T comes out as 2 by 3 seconds. Go for the option B. That is the answer here. Next one. In the following network, the potential at O is, what you will do, let's say this is X, let this current be I1, this be I2, this be I3. So going by the junction law, I1 is coming, I2 and I3 are going. What is I1? 8 minus x by 2. This is x minus 4 by 4, that is x minus 2 by 2. So what you have? 4 minus x by 2, x by 4 plus x by 2, that is 3x by 4 minus 2. So if you do this, this is 4 and 2, 6, and this is 3 by 4 plus 1 by 2, that comes out as 5 by 4x. So x comes out as 24 by 5 volts, that is 4.8 volts. Go for option D, again an easy one, not that tough for you. 4 electrical charges plus minus are placed at the corners of the square of side 2L. The electric potential at point A midway between these two charges is. So because of these two, it would be twice of kq by L. Now because of these, this is 2L, this is L, this would be root 5L minus 2kq upon root of 5L. So what you will have, this is a 2kq, I can take s by L, I can take as common, 1 minus 1 by root 5, that is what we have. So 1 minus 1 by root 5, which is option coming like this is option D, go for it. Next one. Galvanometer of resistance 50 ohm is connected in battery with a resistance in series. A full scale deflection of 30 division is obtained in the galvanometer. In order to reduce it to 20 divisions, the resistance in the series should be. So to reduce this to 20, that means the current should become 2/3. Now the initial current is 3 upon 3000. Now the final current should be 2/3 of this, that is equal to 2 by 3, that would be equal to 3 upon 3000 plus R. So this 3 goes, what you have, 6000 plus 2R comes out as 9000. So 2R is 3000 if I'm doing it right. So R is 1500 ohms, but none of the option is coming. So I think they would be treating the total resistance that should be put, not the additional one. So then I should add this 2950 also. So that plus 2950, if I do, it would be 2950. If I add, it would be 4450, and that should be the answer D. That is how. So they are assuming 2950 is removed and the additional resistance that you require. So you can convert that. I was lucky that that option was not given. If R be the radius of the earth, then the height above the earth's surface, which the acceleration decreases by 20, that means it becomes 4 by phi. So 4 by 5 of surface, that is gm by r square, is gm upon r plus h whole square. So r plus h whole square is 1.25 r square, you can write like this. So r plus h is, or you can write it as root of 5 by 4 times r. So h comes out as root of 5 by 2 minus 1 times r. So this is the first option. This is given like what we have done. Next one, non-conducting piston, mass m and area. I think area, it should be area S naught, divides a non-conducting closed cylinder as shown in the figure. Okay, a piston having mass m is connected with the top wall. Wait a minute. Non-conducting piston area divides a non-conducting closed cylinder. A piston having mass m is connected with the top wall of the cylinder by a force constant K. The top part is evacuated and the bottom part contains an ideal gas at P0 in the equilibrium. Adiabatic exponent gamma and an equilibrium length of each part is L. Find the angular frequency of each oscillation for a small oscillation. Okay. So now here, if I slightly displace it, let's say downwards by distance x from equilibrium, the equilibrium will be disturbed. Spring will be more extended, so the force, additional force of the spring would be minus kx, and the pressure change force, I can call it as dp into a, that will also be, because pressure will increase, that will also be upward, so that will be added to this, plus dp into s naught, that would be equal to your restoring force, or you can write it as ma. So ma is this minus kx plus dp, and what we know for an adiabatic process, you know dp by dv, you know, is minus gamma p by v. So dp magnitude would be gamma p upon v was s naught l, and dv you can write it as s naught into x. So this s naught cancel up, this is what you get. So you have minus of k plus gamma p naught, or whatever we had, p naught, yes, this is p naught by l, that you have, that s and s get cancelled into x, you have this force, and this was also multiplied by s naught, sorry. So s naught would be there, gamma s naught p naught l into x. So this is acceleration divided by m, so that you can directly get this omega comes out as what is coming out, root kl plus gamma s naught p naught upon what we have this, we have this as ml, I can write. So going by the options, what we are getting, so this ml I think would be in the root itself, it cannot be outside the root, so there is some printing error, I suppose. Here it should be complete root here, that is what I feel, because there is no point coming at it is not coming out, it should be like this. So this is option D here. Next one, sound wave passing through the air at ntp produces a pressure of this during a compression. The corresponding change in temperature is, so whenever the sound waves propagate, we know it is an adiabatic process. So what we can have, what the equation we write is p1 minus gamma, t to the power gamma is constant. So what I can do, if I take the differentiation, what we will have, gamma t to the power gamma minus 1 into p to the power 1 minus gamma, taking constant, that dt, plus what we have, t to the power gamma into 1 minus gamma p to the power 1 minus gamma minus 1, that is 1 minus gamma into dp equal to 0. So that dt would be written as, if I do, it would be, what I can write, go there, it would be gamma minus 1 t to the power gamma upon p to the power gamma and from here what we will have 1 upon gamma t to the power gamma minus 1 p to the power 1 minus gamma. So it is gamma, what is it, into dp, sorry. So this is dp, so the pressure change would be gamma is 1.5 minus 1, that is 0.5. T to the power, what we will have, t to the power we will have 1, and here gamma is 1.5, and pressure we will have 1 minus 2 to the power gamma, or we can write it here as gamma 2 gamma minus 1, that would be 2 t by p square dp, that you can do here. So this is a change in pressure that you would be getting, that is 1 by 3, t is 273 p square at ntp you will take it as a 180 m or take it as 10 to the power 5, and there would be a slight change only. Now dyne per centimeter square, so convert this dyne is 10 to the power minus 3 dyne, 1 dyne is 10 to the power minus 5 Newton, centimeter square is 10 to the power minus 4, so this comes out as 10 to the power minus what I can write, it would be 10 to the power minus 4. So this is the 91, so 91 if I am right, yes, it would be approximately 91 or 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 8, that is you can do. So into 10 to the power minus 8 we will get, so we'll go by the order only, so it would be option C here. There would be slight difference that what we have taken, we have not taken that exact 180 m value, so we can expect that much variation. Steady current in a long wire bent in a circular loop of 1 turn, the field at center, if the loop is in 2 n turns, you have told you many times, it would be n square b. Logic is the formula of b is mu naught ni upon 2 r of n, and we know n into 2 pi rn, total perimeter is equal to length, so rn is inverse to n, so it becomes proportional to n square. Next one, in a vernier caliper, if each centimeter of the main scale is divided into q parts and p is vernier scale division coincides with p minus 1 main scale division, then what is the least count? So each centimeter divided into q parts, that means s is equal to 1 by q centimeters, and p vernier divisions, that is p into v is equal to p minus 1 into s, so v is equal to p minus 1 upon p times s, that is 1 by q. Least count you know is s minus v, that is 1 by q, common 1 minus p minus 1 upon p, so it comes out as 1 upon pq, it is 1 upon pq. So go for option, which option? D, that is the answer. Next one, you have a block A, mass m, block B, mass 2m, placed on a fixed triangular wedge by a means of a massless inextensible string and a frictionless pulley as shown in the figure. Wedge is 45 degree on both sides, the coefficient of friction of A and wedge is 2 by 3, B and wedge is 1 by 3. If blocks are released from rest, find the acceleration of A. So what we will have, let's assume it goes down, let's say this goes down and it goes up. So what we can say, this friction will act up, this friction will act down. So what we can do, this is Fa, this is Fb, the acceleration magnitude would be 2mg sine 45 minus Fb minus Fa minus mg sine 45 upon 3m, net pulling force upon total mass to be pulled. So this is mg sine 45, which is mg 1 by root 2, Fa is Fb, sorry, is 1 by 3 into 2mg by root 2, and that would be 2 by 3 into mg by root 2 if I do put the values, mu mg cos theta upon 3m. So it is mg by root 2, and what if I do, it would be 2 by 3 and 2 by 3, that would be 4 by 3 root 2. So it is 4 by 3 root 2 mg. So I think this friction is coming greater, that means both won't move because the acceleration cannot be negative. Negative means with the heavier one cannot go up. So that's clear, friction is sufficient here. I need to check before, but I can check from the data. That means the friction is sufficient. If you will calculate Fa plus Fb, it is coming greater than the difference of the mass forces mg sin thetas. So the acceleration of both will be 0. Directly you can go for this will be 0. Next one, A and B are two radioactive substances whose half-life are 1 and 2 years respectively. 10 gram of A, 1 gram of B is taken, time after which they will have same quantity. So it is 1 year. So after any time t, we can say it's the quantity of A would be 10 upon 2 to the power t by 1, because that is how we write, and this would be 1 upon 2 to the power t by 2. So what you have, 2 to the power t by 2 is equal to 10. You can go taking that side. So taking the log t by 2, log 2 would be equal to log 10, that is 1. So t would be 2 upon log 2, and log 2 is 0.301 typically, you write. So it would be, if I do, it would be approximately 20 by 3 something, so it would be 6.63 something, 67 let's say. So closest would be 6.62 years. I can go for it. 6.62 years I can take based on this. Next one, your block of 1 kg dropped on the spring mass system as shown in the figure. The block travels 100 meters in the air before striking the 3 kg mass. Calculate maximum compression in the spring if both move together after the collision. So they move together, that means it's a perfectly elastic collision. So the velocity just before collision, V naught, would be root 2 gh, that is 2 into 10 into 100. Now applying the momentum conservation, what we can say, 1 into this root of what we have, 2 into 10 to the power 3 would be equal to 4 into V. So V becomes root 2000 by 4. Now the energy conservation analysis we can do. Let's say it is compressed by distance x max. So the loss in potential energy is mg x max, that is 4 into 10 into x max. X max is, let's say, this much. This is the gain in potential, loss in potential energy. Loss in kinetic energy would be half into 4 into v square, which is 2000 by 16, and that would be equal to gain in spring, which is 1.25 into 10 to the power 6 into xm square. So it's not going to be an easy one. So let me do it. So 16, this is 4, this is 1000 by 4, that is 250. So what you have, 40 xm plus 250 is half into 1.25. So let's say what we have, 1250, I can do this, 625 into 10 to the power 3 xm square. So what we can do now, this is x max would be, okay, this is a quadratic and it is not going to be easy for sure. So 250 into 625 into 10 to the power 3, this doesn't seems very easy one to get for anyone. So kinetic energy, so if I solve it, let me simplify. This doesn't seem to be getting simplified, that's a different thing. 00 xm square minus 4 xm minus 25 is equal to 0. Now I am not inclined to do, but what I can do, I have to do no option. It would be 4 plus b square plus 4 minus 4ac will become plus 100 into 625 into 100 upon what we have. This is 62500 into 2. So doing this, let's say this would be 16, can be neglected out of this. 625 is 25 into 100 upon 12,000. 625, that is 125000. I don't know how many 0. Neglect that 4 also. 2500 upon 123. This goes, this goes, this goes. What we are left with, 1 upon 50 meters. So it's approximately coming out as 2 centimeter. Oh my god, so luckily it is 2 centimeter, but I don't know how I solved it, but this is how we have to do it. The solution given by NTA is fraud. They have taken that equilibrium to be the maximum extension, which is not right. Cathode rays of velocity 10 to the power 6 describe an approximate circular path of 1 in this field. If velocity rate is double the value of the electric field, this is repeated. I think yesterday it came in NEET or JEE Main. So what I have, QE is equal to mv square by r. So we can say the relation between, if the path is same, the radius q and mass is same, so E is proportional to V square. So if it is doubled, it would be 4 times, so 1200 volt per centimeter. You can directly go for it. Go for the next one. Tube of length L, radius r, carries a steady flow of fluid whose density is rho, viscosity neta. Fluid flow velocity depends on the distance r from the axis, like this. Find the friction force exerted on the tube by the fluid. Now this is a typical one. So the force that you typically write is minus neta a dv by dx. Here it will become dv by dr. That is what you will do. So how to do this? We can do, this is neta. Area of the tube would be this curved area. I can go for 2 pi rl dv by dr. If what would be dv by dr, it would be minus 2 V naught R by R square, so minus will get up, so this is 2 V naught R by R square, and for the last one the radius will become capital R. So for the last one I can go like this. So the friction force exerted on the tube, then the tube would be like this. So it comes out as 4 pi neta R goes. This is 4 pi neta V naught L. I can make it out. So it would be option A. Not an easy one. It is also a slightly confusing one for you. Next one. Lens is made of a flint glass. When lens is immersed in a liquid of 1.25, the focal length will be. So what we can say in air, I can say it is 1.5 sorry, minus 1 into that geometrical dimensions, and that medium would be 1.5 upon 1.25 minus 1 into those dimensions. So if I divided this goes F in medium to F in air, that is 0.5, this is 0.25, and it would be 1.25, so that is 5, that is 1.25, and sorry 2.5. It is 2.5 times the focal length in air, so it increases by a factor of 2.5. Next, in a circuit of CE amplifier, a silicon transistor is used. The value of VCC is plus 20, whereas VCC it would be at top, I think. RL is 3 kilo ohms, collector voltage is 5 volt, and beta is 100. Then the base resistance RB should be taken input voltage drop across the resistor to be 0.7. So this drop is 0.7, and that was given as 20. So this drop on RB, that is IB into RB, you can directly go as 19.3. So RB would be 19.3 upon IB. Now what is here? This is 5 volts, so this is 15, so I can make it out. IC into RL is 15, so IC value is 15 upon 3 kilo ohm, that is milliampere, 5 milliampere, and beta is 100, so IB would be IC by 100, so 19.3 into 100 and 5 milliampere, that is 10 to the power minus 3 I can go for. So if I go for 10 to the power minus 3 something, so the value of the RB will be going to be very, very high. I suppose 19.3 by 5 into 10 to the power 5, so it would be 3.86 into 10 to the power 5. I can go for only this one. That is the only appropriate option that looks to me. Nice question. Next one. Calculate the compressional force required to prevent the metallic rod of length L, area A, when heated through T degree from the length change would be delta L because of the temperature effect plus delta L due to that force effect. That should be both should be equal to 0. So due to temperature change, the length changes by what say delta L is alpha L delta T, that we typically write delta L, you always write it as alpha L delta T, and delta LF due to force would be FL upon AY. So FL L would be L. So here there is a catch. What would be the length that you will take? The length that you will take, that would be the length that would have become at that temperature, that would be L plus alpha delta T. So L plus L alpha delta T would be the length now upon AY. Typically we write it L only, but here because of these options I have to do this, otherwise we directly would have gone for AY alpha delta T, but here this option B is making our life difficult. So we have to go by this method only here. So if you do this, F will come out as minus AY alpha delta T divided by 1 plus alpha delta T. So this is how you will go for option B. Typically we go for option A, but since B is given, we have to go for this. So I don't think that's a nice way to ask, because usually we don't take this. If energy, gravitational constant, impulse and mass, then the dimensions of GIM square by E square is what we have. So energy square, mass square, so F is equal to GM square by R square. So GM square is F, and impulse is F delta T, that is F into T. Energy square, energy is force into distance, and this would be also force into distance. I write it 2 times FFF goes. So what we have, time upon distance square that we are getting. So time upon distance square, let me check again. Impulse, energy, gravitational constant, GM square was F into R square, sorry. So it would be F into R square, so R square, so this R square will cancel up, so it would be only time, so go for option A. So simplify, you can get it. Next one. band playing music at a frequency f, move towards it, wall speed vb, the motorist is following the band with a speed vm. If v is the speed of sound, the expression for the beat frequency heard by the motorist is, so first the direct sound he will be hearing would be f1 would be f naught or f naught. F you can write if it is given f naught f, because the band is going away, it would be v plus vb, it is going towards, so it would be v plus vm. Now f2 would be, because it would be the wall reflected, the wall has the frequency that would be v minus vb upon v, but because it is going towards it, it will come out as v plus vm. We can directly go for this, or let me write it more clearly. First of all, what the wall hears, the wall will receive f v minus vb upon v, and what this biker hears would be this fw into v plus vm upon v. So it basically comes out as f v plus vm upon v minus vb. So the difference f2 minus f1 is the beat frequency, f you can take as common, v plus vm upon v minus vb minus v plus vm upon v plus vb. So what you have, take v plus vm as common, here you will have vb will go, so it would be not to go, it will add 2 vb upon v square minus vb square. So now this is a easier one, go for the option third. In this case option C is the right one. Next one, the radius of germanium nuclide is measured to be twice the radius of this beryllium. Calculate the number of nucleons. So what I can say, radius of germanium to radius of beryllium would be equal to, we can say r is proportional to a to the power, what we have, r is proportional to a to the power 1 by 3. So it would be a of germanium to a of beryllium, which is 9 to the power 1 by 3, and that is 2. So this is 2 cube would be equal to a of germanium by 9. So a of germanium would be here as this nuclide is 9 into 8, that is 72. So 72, and germanium number of nucleons, just you would ask, so that is 72. That's an easy one. Now next one, you have a rod of length 1 meter and mass 1 kg moving with speed 5 on a fixed horizontal frame containing inductor and resistor. PQ and MN are smooth conducting wires. There is a uniform magnetic field 1 Tesla. Initially there is no current in the inductor. Find the total charge in coulomb flown through the inductor by the time velocity becomes 1 meter per second and rod has it traveled a distance x equal to 3 meters. So this is what you need. Now this seems not to be an easy one to me. First of all, what we can do, whenever it moves, we know this is field inside the battery would be like this. The value of the battery at any instant you know is equal to BVL, and we have one loop here, we have one loop here. So let's say what we can say, that is equal to I into resistor into R, and that would be equal to L di of inductor by dt, that we can write E is equal to like this. So both things we can write like this. So this is with velocity. Now because why the speed will decrease, so current is going like this, magnetic field is this, so if I do that IL cross B, the force would be opposite to this, so that force you write it as BIL, I would be IR plus IL into L, and that is retarding, so that will you write it as minus M dV by dt. I can write it like this. So minus M dV by dt or M dV by dt, whatever you can write, we can check for the magnitude once again. So this is what we are getting. So what we can do now, M dV by dt, or minus sign take it here, BL IR, you know IR as you know is BVL by R, and what is IL? So IL I have to calculate, so let's say calculate it as IL only here. Now so this is, now we have to find the charge you know would be IL dt integration from the 0 to t, whatever be the time we will be getting. So what we have here, if I write it as M dV, and what we can have it minus BIL L dt minus B square V L square R, that is what we are getting here. So into dt. So if I do that this integration on both the sides like this, so it will give me M into delta V. Delta V means V final minus V initial, and minus BIL, so minus BL is common, that is IL dt from the time that would be required, that is what you need, this is your Q, minus B square L square by R, and this is integration V dt will give you V final square minus V initial square by 2 if I calculate it like this. So this would be this, and we know this particular value that we can go for, oh okay, sorry, it is V dt not V dV. So V dt will definitely give you the displacement delta x. So do it right. So what we have, mv final minus v initial, that is 5 to 1, that is minus 4. We will go for this is minus 4. This is minus b L naught into q minus b square L square r, and delta x is 3. So the value of the q you can now find out. This would be, q would be, take it here, 4 minus b square is 1, L, where is L? L is 1 again, r is what you have, r is 1 again, so everything is 1. So into 1 by 1 into 3, that is 1, divided by BL naught, that is 1. So answer is 1, I suppose. Answer is 1. So 1 coulomb charge is passed. But yes, this is not an easy one. You need to simplify many things. Next one. Rod length 2 meter maintained to rotate with constant speed 2 radian per second about a vertical axis through one end. There is a spring constant 1 Newton per meter which just encloses rod inside it in the natural length. One end of the spring is attached to the axis of the rotation. S is a sleeve of mass 1 kg which can just fit on rod. All surfaces are smooth with what minimum kinetic energy? Sleeve should be projected so that it enters on the rod without jerk and completely compresses the spring. Okay, so let me check it what it is given. Rotated about a vertical axis one end, there is a spring, one just encloses rod inside it in natural length. One end of the spring is rotated attached to the axis. S is a sleeve which can just fit on rod. All surfaces are smooth with what minimum kinetic should be projected so that it enters on the rod without jerk and completely compresses. So it means it is coming sometimes like obliquely. It will having a velocity, two components, one is along it, that is one is v parallel and one would be v perpendicular. So for no jerking, this v perpendicular must be equal to omega L or omega small l, what you have. So this v perpendicular is omega L, omega is 1, L is 2. So that is 2 meter per second, and this is now it will be rotating with it, and this velocity will compress it. So this velocity will compress it, but because it is a rotating frame, so to compress it fully we need to get the when we look it in the frame of this what we can say this rods frame, what we will have, there will be a pseudo force as well. So need to do work against that pseudo force as well, because the pseudo force would be acting outwards and it is going inwards. So it has to do work against spring work would be half KL square because it completely compresses, and that force you know as m omega square L or r. This r will vary from L to 0, so it's a linear variation, and if you are doing this distance, I can directly write it as m omega square L square by 2. I can directly go with m omega square L square by 2, and that would be equal to half m into this v parallel square. So what we have now, this is k, you need k is given, yes 1, L is 1 plus m is 1, omega is 1, L is 4, L was L square was 4, okay, sorry, that was not 1. So this is 4 by 2, that is equal to half into 1 into v parallel square. So what you get, 4 by 2 plus 4 by 2, that is 4 into 2, that is v parallel square. What you are getting, v parallel square you are getting as 8 or something, 8 by 2, yes, v parallel square you are getting as 8. So therefore its initial kinetic energy would be half m v perpendicular square, that was 4, this was 8, 4 plus 8 is 12, so 12 by 2, that is 6 joule. So again it's not an easy one, it's again a tougher one for you. Next one. An interference is observed due to two coherent sources A and B separated by a distance 4 lambda along y-axis, where lambda is the wavelength of the light source used. Okay, due to coherent sources separated by 4 lambda, lambda is the wave. Detector is placed along the positive x-axis. Find the number of maxima points obtained from 0 to infinity. So here you know the part difference is 4 lambda, and as you go it will be 4 lambda, 3 lambda, 2 lambda, and then you have this that thing. So total number of maximum points excluding 0 and infinity. So one at 0 and one at infinity. So 0 and 4 lambda are executed. So there will be lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda. So there will be only 3 maximas. That's an easy one now if you can manage it. Last one. In a photo experiment, the parallel beam of light with power 200 watt incident on absorbing cathode of work function this. Frequency of light is just above the threshold so that the photoelectrons are with 0 energy. You can assume an electron emission of 100%. Potential difference of 500 volt is applied between the cathode and the anode. All the electrons are incident normally and the anode are absorbed. The anode experiences the force of this due to the impact of the electrons. The value of n is, now this is an interesting one. So we can say the photon energy is 6.25, power is 200. So number of photons per second that we are getting would be 200 upon 6.25 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So what we have, this is 2 into 10 to the power 21, 16 5s are 80, 16 2s are 32, 8 4, 16 6 are this is 10. So it is you can directly go for 2 into 10 to the power 20 photons. So number of electrons will also be same, and energy of each electron would be 500 eV. So what we have, when it is strikes it, the force would be equal to, what we can say, force would be directly, you can make it out, would be equal to that the momentum absorbed dp by dt, that is the momentum falling per unit time, that is root 2 mk into n. Directly you can go for it. So doing this is root 2 into 9.1 into 10 to the power 9 you have to take, okay, 9, okay, wait a minute, let it be 9 into 10 to the power minus 31, k is 500 ev, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. I think we should have converted it, but if you have done, no issue, that is 2 into 10 to the power 20. So now what we are left with, this is 31 and 50, 10 to the power minus 25, so this is 10 to the power minus 5 into 2, and what is inside, this is 500 into 2, that is 1000, or you can say 9 into 1.6 into 2 into 500. So what we are left with now, this is 2 into 10 is to the power minus 5. What we can take it out as common, I can write as 500 can be written as 25 into 20, 1.6 into 2 is 3.2 into 9, so 3.2 into 20, so this is 20, 32, 2s are 64, so it is 64, 64 is a perfect square 8, 9 is a perfect square 3, 25 is a perfect square 5 into 2 into 10 is to the power minus 5, 24, 5s is 120, 240, so it is 240 into 10 to the power minus 5, so it is 24 into 10 to the power minus 4, so I think this is 24, and this completes this paper. This was not an easy